3, 2, 1, end of test. Keying with a go.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Warbird Wednesday, the first of the new year. And my name is Fred Bell. I am the managing director, and true to form, the staff has decided to. Is this a Smurf? I think it's a Smurf. Anyways, I haven't seen myself in this because that's the deal. But this one is pretty terrifying. So, and it's like cutting off the circuit in my head, so I will get it off. My Madrugada assistant, I'll toss that off. There we go. Enough mass to get it off screen. Now, I have called an audible on this one, and that is that we're doing flying boats, and we're kind of moving down the 50s, 60s time frame. I've called an audible because I have become aware that there is a flying boat, that 1960s era flying boat, that is currently in use in combat. And that is so rare that I've decided to move it up. So indulge me, if you will, in this new year. We are, of course, talking about the Beriev. I hope I'm not destroying that. The Be-12, the NATO call sign was male. It is a turboprop flying boat. This is not it. This is a Martin, although if you look up the comparable aircraft to the Be-12, this one shows up. So a couple of interesting things. The Beriev has a gull wing. I'll throw up a plan view of this Martin. Greg, of course, can throw up a plan view in the edit of the Be-12. But this, now, in this aircraft, remember, we're talking about radials. We're talking about inline V8s or inline 8s, 12s. This one, the Be-12, is a turboprop aircraft, so it is stepped up in speed. It's actually fairly quick for a flying boat at 330 miles an hour, a huge improvement over some of those that we were talking about 30 years earlier with open cockpits, and we're bombing along at about 110 miles an hour. Its first flight was in 1960. It was introduced in 1960. This is a Soviet bloc aircraft, and what I mean by that, this was originally built under the old Soviet Union, not the Russian Federation. So it goes back to the old Soviet design bureaus. Pretty good size build rate at 150. Now, the thing about these aircraft, when I talk about the East Bloc and of course the Cold War, I am talking about that this aircraft was also given to a number of Soviet client states. So the Soviets did not operate all 150 of these aircraft. They were doled out, and over time they have dwindled. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Initially envisioned in a maritime interdiction role as well as submarine, anti-submarine, it eventually became a search and rescue aircraft. These bad boys could do some damage. Now, initially, when I talk about maritime patrol, you have to remember that early American ballistic missile submarines could not stand off as far from the Soviet Union and fire. They had to get in fairly close. That was what these aircraft were originally designed for. And then as American boomers, ICBM carrying missile submarines, could stand off further away, they moved more into that search and rescue, and I'm going to talk about some other things they did. But make no mistake about it, one of these, the Be-12 SK, could drop nuclear depth charges. Now, Kevin is filming with me today. Do you know what all almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. It also counts in nuclear depth charges. You don't have to be that close. In fact, the Russians, and I'm not sure the name of the weapon system under the Federation they're building now, but they are building a nuclear torpedo to create tsunamis. There was a time with the Soviet Union where they very much believed that they may launch a first strike. They were talked out of it, and let's hope that they continue to be talked out of it, because the bottom line is nobody wins a nuclear war. Now let's talk about, and that's the group that I want to salute today, and that is all of the folks on both sides that held their fire, that didn't give in to the rhetoric. You know, we have in the world we operate in today, we have a lot of rhetoric and superheated, hyperbolic language. The bottom line is that in the entire time during the Cold War, the cooler heads prevailed. And we came close a few times, but we never got there. And that is all of the folks that were involved in the nuclear triad, which I've talked before, you know, and on the other side as well, that did not give in to all this superheated language and allow themselves to get sucked into some of this stuff. Nuclear weapons are a horrible thing, and although we see a number of what I would call brush fire wars or hot wars in the world, thank goodness that we have never seen a use of nuclear weapons in a war since the effort to defeat Japan. Now, I'm going to salute those folks with a CA Craft Babe Kombucha, whatever the heck that is. Antioxidants, gluten-free, raw, and vegan. Man, they got it all covered, right? If you could eat the can, it would be 100 USDA organic. Now, the concern I have is it's all organic and there's a big dent in the can. So is there a chance of botulism? Possibly. This is Maui Wowie with strawberry, coconut, and lime. It has 41 calories. Man, this thing has no calories in it. What else? Servings for container 2, so they are cheating a little bit. There's actually 82 calories in a can. 10 milligrams of sodium. No, this isn't. No, there's not really that much sugar. So we're going to try this. So all of the folks, oh, there was a fizz, and I am seeing some slight carbonation action. All right, Kevin, we're going to give it a shot here. So to all the folks that kept a cooler head and allowed us to prevail in the Cold War and going forward, I salute you. I guess if you can drink this, more power to you. I don't know what, you know, and I never know with these things whether they get hot or whether this is the true flavor, because obviously the heat destroys some of them, but this one is a toe curler. It'll, whew. So again, mandatory second sip to all of you who kept the world safe and didn't make this drink. I salute you. Oh man, that is absolutely disgusting. So we're going to get back to our going flying boat here. This aircraft went into obsolescence fairly quick. Remember, if you have any air defense, whether it's shoulder launch, like a shoulder launch missiles, man-pads, or any kind of anti-aircraft artillery, or advanced anti-aircraft weapon systems on a destroyer or whatever, you're toast. In very short order, you are toast. And if you're carrying nukes, most likely the other side knows you're carrying nukes, and you're a high priority target. So just like the boomers, and aircraft carriers and everything else, the Russians would try to nuke those. Don't think for 1 minute that the countermeasures in looking for the Be-12 were there, and they'd shoot down as many of them as they possibly, or destroy the base where they operate as soon as they realized that we had gone to hostilities. So the life expectancy on these things was nothing in a hot war. But by 1995, of the 150 that were built, we were down to 55 of them. 4 of them were the Be-12R, were converted to fire bombers, so they were used in a fire bomber role. And by 2008, there were only 9 in service. They were pretty much gone. Now, here is where the vodka gets interesting, comrade. Something happened here recently, and that was the war in Ukraine and the Battle of Crimea, and the Ukrainians really using drones, a lot of drones. I mean, airborne drones, and a thing they call the Sea Baby. Now, the Sea Baby is a drone. It's not a baby, but it will blow up. And the idea is, and maybe Greg can get some shots of these things, but they have been using them to attack Russian warships in the ports along Crimea. So much so that as of this video, the Russians have lost 20% of the Black Sea Fleet to both airborne and seaborne attacks. They've also attacked bridges and all kinds of things. And guess what happened? What the Russians have done with a lot of their other Cold War equipment is the Be-12 has rolled out of retirement and is now providing maritime patrol around Crimea, looking for airborne drones, looking for seaborne drones, and trying to provide force security. So I don't know what a Be-12 would do to one of these Sea Baby drones or aerial drone. I bet you if it flew by an aerial drone, the turbulence alone would probably cause it to crash. But the sea launch stuff, maybe they're using depth charges or something else. But clearly, the Be-12 has found a new lease on life and is fighting in the Ukraine-Russian Federation war. And let's hope that all the cooler heads prevail there and we actually get some justice where the Ukrainians can actually get their land back at some point, and that war is over, because that's gone on too long and it's seen too much loss of life. Now, my Madrugada assistant, that's a tough one. Madrugada. I don't even know. If you, for the first of the year, are finding something you need to do, Jason will happily send you this puzzle. This is a good one. Now, this has a lot of Cold War era aircraft on it. And so this, I don't think it has a Be-12. These all look like fighters, but still very cool. Click on the link. Jason will run down to the post office and mail one of these out for you personally. We cannot do what we do here. I'm standing in front of a Cold War era Century Series fighter, an F-100. This is a D model, one of the only complete D models. In other words, this one is operational in any private museum anywhere in the United States. And what I mean by operational, it is complete. It actually could be flown. We don't fly it because, to be perfectly honest, they're incredibly expensive, especially single-seat fighters to operate. Now, if you tuned in and you like what you see with these single-take Warbird Wednesday videos, please give us a subscription on YouTube, give us a like, give us a comment. I get everything from people hating what I pronounce to liking it, throwing some ideas. They operated the airplane. Now, one thing I do want to say, and that is I have a young gentleman who was just here from the UK, was here, and he loves Warbird Wednesday. I can't use his name, but his mom watches it too at dinner. So, Mom, thank you for watching Warbird Wednesday. I was actually touched by that, because when we started this, it was just a way to kill the time during COVID. We appreciate the fact that you continue to watch our videos. If you came across us on Facebook, give us a like and a comment. We would appreciate it. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.
Day, all my fears have gone away. I guess this means I'm here to stay. Yeah, I'm ready to fly, ready to fly. Wasn't long ago I shook at the thought of being hooked. But ever since I wrote my book, I'm ready to fly, ready to fly.
Come along and join us, we can plug you in a simulator. We'll teach you how to dance and be the perfect imitator. We'll give away all your music to the operator. We were born with a light to shine, and we can do it in our lifetime. And when we get the balance right, oh, we're riding on the satellite.
The satellite.
Very good,
I was walking down the park, saw them hitting the beat. The sound that emanated, it was really sweet. Told them of a shyer man bitten twice, and gave a little old school good advice. Pretending's not the thing, got to be yourself. Honesty, integrity, happiness and health. Bending to the needs of others ain't the way. Be true to yourself and let the music play. Come along and join us, we can plug you in a simulator.